Welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner. My name is Jack, I'm your host, and this is another Photoshop Elements 6 video tutorial. In this tutorial, I want to show you quick and easy ways to create some lighting effects on your pictures. Now, lighting effects, I've been doing some studying recently about light, and there's a lot of ways we can shoot and actually change the lighting effects when we actually take our pictures. But what about if we just take a simple picture and we get it back into Photoshop and then we decide that we want to add some interesting type of lighting effects? Well, that's very easily done in Photoshop Elements 6, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. I've imported a few new wedding pictures into my album. Let's bring those up. And these are basically wedding pictures I shot not too long ago. But I wanted to use these ones because these are outdoor pictures, and as you can see already, and if you can't, let's raise these up a little bit. As you can see already, there's plenty of lighting going on in these pictures. The only lighting you may use if you're actually taking these pictures is maybe a flash, just to do some fill-in flash if the background happens to be too bright. But let's go ahead and actually change one of these pictures to make it look more interesting. Go ahead and right-click on the picture and open it up in the full editor. And then once we get this opened up in the full editor, now you know the next thing that I always tell you to do is go to View and Fit to Screen. That'll blow the picture up so we can see what we're working with. Next, excuse me, always remember to duplicate your layer. Duplicate your background layer, and let's work with the background copy. Now, what we are basically doing today is applying our first filters. So this is our first look at filters and how a filter can actually change a picture. And the filter that we're going to be using today is, if you go to Filter, go to Render, it's going to be called Lighting Effects. And when we bring this up, this is actually showing us a circle. This is actually portraying our light, just as if we had a lamp on this bottom side and we're directionally pointing it in different ways. But instead of doing that by hand or manually, we can do it with a simple couple mouse clicks. If you grab this white dot, you can move this light anywhere you want, and as you can see, the light actually moves around the picture itself. And what we're going to try to do today is we're going to actually try to light the bride and the groom up. And I thought we would light the waterfall up and then leave the outer edges a little bit darker, that way drawing our attention in but still having that picture that's actually using the rule of thirds. In other words, we have the bride and the groom in this basic third or part of the picture, and we have a lot of other stuff going on to kind of accent the picture itself. We could have done a head-on shot with the bride and groom, but it doesn't really give us any story of where they're at. Now, to do this, all we simply have to do is place this in the proper position, just moving it around a little bit, seeing how we want it to look. This is going to drop a little drop shadow on the bottom of her gown, light them up pretty nicely, and also direct some light up this waterfall. Now, if you take these, watch, we can actually close the lighting source down a little bit, make it even more directional. Extend it out here a little bit. This way, it's going to make it more on the waterfall where we want it and on the bride and the groom. This back here, the ambiance light, what this allows us to do is darken or lighten the actual background of the image. Watch, if I take it down, see how it darkens all that light out? I could bring it up and just bring a little bit up. Or I like people to see the background because it's in the picture, but we want to make sure that they can also see that we have a hard concentration of light in the middle, so you want to make it a little bit darker on the outside. This intensity is your intensity of your light. See how bright we can make it? Or we can lower it down a little bit. Let's set it right about there. That looks pretty nice. Now there's also different styles of lights. Right now we're using the spotlight. That's my personal favorite. We can also use directional lighting. That's wherever this dot is where the light's going to beam straight at. or we can use an Omni light. And that's more of, if you wanted to put this and put an Omni light on the subjects itself. But let's go ahead and stick with the spotlight because, like I said, I like it the best. It seems to bring out the best results for me. Once we have it selected, we have everything here done, and we have all our slide bars properly set. Then just go ahead and click OK, and that will actually apply the lighting effect to the picture itself. Now, as you can see, we have back here, we have it a little darker. We have them well lit now, and we have the waterfall well lit because this couple really wanted their pictures taken in front of a waterfall, and they had this place picked out long before I ever met them. Now, let's say that's not quite right. It looks close, but it's not quite the effect that I was wanting. Go here, we can do undo, or if you hold the control key down your keyboard and hit Z, that also undoes what you did, or steps you backwards. Go to filter again, go to render, go back to the lighting effects. The thing I didn't like about this was too light over here, so we're going to darken that a little bit. We'll bring this in a little bit more, just to take out more of that. I want these sides to be a little darker. Now, once I think I have that properly set, it looks pretty good there. I'm going to go and click OK. That's going to put our new lighting effect on. Now you see I have the light properly set on my bride and groom, as well as my waterfall is properly lit. Everything behind here is falling off into basically the darkness. It almost looks like this picture was taken towards dusk, where in reality this was taken pretty much in high noon, which isn't the best time for shooting pictures. But if you're very careful with your lighting when you're taking it and use some fill flash on your subjects, you're not going to get that harsh sunlight. Or you can actually have somebody over here in the distance off camera, and you can actually put an umbrella or reflector up here and actually get some of that light off of them and keep them out of that bright sunlight. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this short video tutorial on using your first filter, which is one of my favorite, which is lighting effects, and that's under the render. So it's filter, render, and then lighting effects. Well, until next time, remember to go over to jackstechcorner.com if you get a chance, and subscribe to the forums. I'd love to hear from you there. Thanks to everybody for commenting on the videos, those that are commenting on the videos on YouTube. And if you're enjoying these videos, please click on the subscribe button. The more subscribers means higher ratings, and it means more people are going to actually see these videos, and that's good for me. Other than that, there's no commitments from you, and I'm not asking for any type of revenue from this. I just do these so you'll be able to learn a little bit more about Photoshop Elements 6. So until next time, keep editing, and more importantly, get those cameras out and keep shooting. I'd love to see some of your work. If you want to email those to me, email those over at jackstechcorner@gmail.com. I'd like to take a look. We'll see you next time. Take care, and I'll see you then.